Okay. All right. Well, welcome, guys. Thanks for getting on. This is, we just want to touch base every Tuesday, 11:30 to 12, just to help you with, stories and testimonials about EHT, any kind of questions you guys may have about your business and what's happening in Europe. We're really excited that Vicki and John will be out there coming September 27th to October 8th to help you guys grow your business. So it's very exciting that we're going to have them out there. And please, utilize them as much as you can. Just think of all the people and all the different areas that they're going, if there's anybody, and then maybe even some of your friends, contacting your friends and asking them, who do you know, in this area? Who do you know over here in I think Belgium, Netherlands, Switzerland, Austria? Like, who do you know there? So first and foremost, I don't want to take too much of her time, but Patricia McGoffin is one of our directors out here in this area, and she has a really amazing testimonial about EHT with her, believe with yourself and with your mom, correct, Patricia? I'll unmute you. Oh, there we go. So this is Patricia, this is Olga and Angela and Ivana you met in Vegas, and Terry.
Yeah.
So yes, please go ahead and share, Patricia.
I do want to say hello first, because this is a first to be talking to you all the way over there, and here we are all the way over here. I love modern technology. I just turned 74, and my mom is going to turn 94 next week. I can see I'm on a delay, so I don't know how that's looking for you.
You're okay.
When we came out with the EHT at the conference, I immediately thought about my mom. And when I came home, I started giving her a tablet every day. And she does not take anything. She's not on blood pressure or anything. She's really healthy. She likes to work out. She used to work out twice a week at the gym. So she was in fairly good shape. What I didn't know is some things were going on behind the scenes, and because I was there every day, I didn't notice it as much. After 3 weeks of taking EHT, my sister called and asked me if I was giving my mother something different, because she was actually the recipient of 3 calls a day on one particular subject, day after day after day. My mother was calling her 3 times a day with the same story. And after 3 weeks of being on this pill, she stopped doing that. She remembered what she was talking to people about. She started actually having very sweet, long conversations with friends, bringing up things from the past, and having excellent memory about all of that. Another thing was her balance. She had been using a cane. In fact, we had 3 of them all over the house, different purposes. And 3 weeks into the EHT, she said, this is just kind of getting in the way. She still doesn't use a cane. And that's 2 years now. Between the memory, the recall, and the memory, her sleep is like an older person because she takes naps, but she wakes up in the morning and she's energetic, and she sleeps well at night. I'm sure that has something to do with her EHT. They're very subtle, the changes that happen, but they do make a huge difference overall. I have one quick, do I have time for another quick one about my friend? I have a fellow who is a friend who works at a restaurant, and he's been working there for years. I've known him for years, and he had a stroke, and I was able to get to him right after he got out of the hospital. And I said, here, these are supplement, you can talk to your doctor. But he's known me, he trusted me. He started taking them. He had the most miraculous recovery because, of course, half of his face had pulled down. He was, slurred speech, closed eye. Within 3 weeks, the optic nerve had started to repair itself to the point where his eye was opening up. The sagging skin, the muscles in the face, the slurred speech. His doctor gave him permission to come back to work a whole month earlier than he would have in a normal recovery. And he really attributes that to the EHT. And that is, to me, it's a miraculous. recovery. So that's my story.
Thank you, Patricia. And I remember when she, with her mom, and how she just saw that her mom was just with it a lot more and a lot quicker with everything. It's incredible because EHT does do so much for all ages. And so, with the stroke, it's healing those neuronal connections in the brain. And so, there's no medical claims that it's going to heal a stroke, but it's going to help with those neuronal connections. And so how long had he taken it after the stroke? Or he still takes it, correct?
He's still taking it. I wanted to mention, I'm glad you brought that up about my mom. She used to go to bed at night and worry about everybody. You got a lot of grandchildren, everybody worrying about everything. And after taking the EHT, she stopped doing that, which is, I think, why she was getting full night's sleep. And she told me one day after she, probably a couple of months into it, she says, I just have an overall sense of well-being. And my mother never uses terms like that. Too much Oprah, but an overall sense of well-being at 94 years old. I mean, that's as much as I could want.
That's incredible. And in our team, we have a lot of stories, like with Linda Harris's father. And, just imagine all of the older people in our lives just living a better quality of life for the remainder of their life. Pretty incredible. Thank you, Patricia.
Thank you.
Okay. And now we have, my sister wants to share her story with EHT. I think she can talk and drive. I think she's there. You there, Lori?
Yep, I'm here.
And I'm gonna start off because I haven't really seen you. Happy birthday!
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. So this is my sister Lorene. She's 55 today, right? 55?
Yes, 55 today.
55 today.
Holding that proud. Yes.
All right. So go ahead, Lori.
Well, I get a chance to now order from the senior discount menu, and I'm excited about that. But with something that, with Patricia's story, I can tell you I am so grateful that I've been putting EHT in my system for as long as it's been out for us, about 3 years, I guess, 2.5, 3 years, and entering into the official senior citizen world. But I guess ARP would say 50 is when the senior citizen world started, but I don't even feel like I'm a senior. I just want to say that I have a lot of multitasking that goes on a daily basis with both personal and professional, and now my Nerium business. And what I can tell you that EHT has done for me is it's allowed me to stay focused on my tasks. So multitasking isn't always the best for our brain. However, I have to push my brain some days to get a lot done in the 12 and a half hours I have in a day, or whatever it is that I have for that day. And I'm just grateful that I'm able to on point. The amount of work I'm able to get done is crazy. Has helped me with recovery from hard workouts. But what I could tell you is that my reading comprehension is better. When I sit down to do work at work, I can sit down and create my strategy or my plan and put together my list of tactics to accomplish the objective. And I wasn't really that way before that focus. So that's what it's done for me. And I'm very grateful because I'm expected to have my brain on for a lot. And so that I would have to say has been a lifesaver. So I'm grateful that my brain is it's snapping, or what's the word? It has the little neuronal connections that are snapping every day. And I am just glad that I'm able to take it this early to be proactive in my health.
Thanks. And can you just touch a little bit more on the exercise part? Because you're not a senior, but you're still young, and you exercise a lot, and the recovery and how it helps with that, because I know that's a big portion of EHT that we don't talk about a lot, but the recovery of your workouts.
Sure. So with the lactic acid buildup that happens when we exert our bodies and we push our bodies at a certain level when we're exercising, so the first 20 minutes of exercise, we're either in a zone of where we're burning fat, or we're just, or we're at baseline. And I always, when I commit to an exercise that day, I push myself to that zone for 20, 25 minutes so that I can have burning later throughout the day. That's the ideal way to exercise, and of course with weights. But as I've aged, I've noticed that my soreness and muscle recovery, I'm just a little slower. I'm still strong, but everything is just slower. And I don't wake up where my legs, I can't walk anymore. So I might have a delayed reaction to my muscle soreness, but I stretch a lot afterwards. And by day 3, a lot of people can't even walk. And I seem to skip that part of it. So I'm really glad because it helps me sleep better. And that's when the healing occurs. And then the tearing of our tendons that occur when we are pulling and pushing with weight resistance training. It occurs quicker at night, and the recovery is better so that I can be more consistent and sustain the week of consistent 3 to 4 times workout exercises. And I'm grateful for that. That's what the American Heart Association recommends. We do 30 minutes 3 to 4 times a week of anything, of any kind of movement. So I'm just cognizant of keep moving, and that's been really good, the muscle recovery in that regard. But sometimes I'm sore, but that's okay. That means I've really pushed it.
Awesome. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate that.
Question.
Yes, you have a question, Olga? Go ahead.
What happens when you stop taking the product? I mean, it is you need to take it every day. What if you go to holidays and you forgot to take the product with you for a week? I mean, it goes so fast from I don't know, one day from another, or
No, you can, if you miss a day, you'll know. I mean, you'll notice it, you'll feel it. Sometimes if I have forgotten, I'll feel tired and I'm trying to figure out why I'm tired, and then I realize I forgot to take my EHT. Nothing is going to be negative or happen to you. It's just you'll just come right back to taking it, and then your brain will start, recovering. But I don't want to answer it too much in depth real quick because I know Deborah's on, and Deb is from Canada, and I want her to share her story before she has to go. So Deb from Canada, she has an amazing story about her daughter. So Olga, I'll come back to that if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hi, Deb. How are you?
I'm great, Monique. How are you?
I'm good. So please, this is Olga and Angela and Ivana from Germany, and Deborah from Canada. We have 3 countries on here. Woohoo! That's exciting.
Hello, everyone. Good to see everyone from all over these countries, right? So I won't stay on too long because I don't know how long you guys been on, but I'll just give my quick testimony regarding EHT. I'll tell you a little bit. I know my picture is kind of, I think, from the sun. There, that's better. I'll tell you a little bit about my background first. So I'm a nurse. I've worked for going on 31 years in mostly critical care settings. And I'm a mom of 3, 20, 18, and 15. And so I was super skeptic in regards to any of the products or any of the wellness, especially with Miriam. And anyways, I ended up trying EHT with my daughter, who I won't go into great detail about her other than to say she is what they would say severe disabilities. I don't see her that way because I work ICU. So severe to me means that you're on a breathing machine. So anyways, but she's nonverbal. She's physically impaired. She's global developmental delay. She has a processing delay. What else? I mean, just kind of pretty much everything, right? So we started it in December of 2015. Oh, and she also had a sleep disorder. We started it when she was 15 and a half. I started it with her and didn't really expect too much. And within a week of taking it, I was scared to tell anyone what I was seeing because I thought I was going to jinx it. Her first thing we seen was her sleep changed completely. This was a girl that got up in the night, almost every night, anywhere between midnight, 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and sometimes would never go back to sleep. And we had done it all, sleep clinics, melatonin, you name it. And she started sleeping completely through the night. And we are, going on 3 years this December. And it's very rare that she wakes up. So that in itself has been a massive blessing. But not only that, guys, I mean, just what it's done. And I see it more in her because it's so apparent, right? Like sometimes when we don't have as much to to be to compare it to, we don't see it as much, right? Until sometimes we have to go off of the EHT and then we realize truly what it's done for us. But for McKenna, I didn't tell anyone that she was taking it because I was so skeptical. So I really just wanted their feedback. And literally within 6 weeks, I started getting messages from our school telling me that her processing had, like, she was just taking in the information so much better. And she was, I'm going to fast forward to, 6 months down the road and just give you an overall of what all the things that they were seeing and what we were seeing. She was responding faster. So, people were acknowledging that she actually understood what they were saying because she was responding to them. So she would wave hi and bye without being told to do that. Her ability to answer questions in stories. They were reading her stories at school and giving her yes and no and really trying to trick her up, and she was getting 100%. Her sight words, which the school had given up on doing because they said she just couldn't read, and I always felt that she could because we could do it at home with her, and I just thought they didn't understand. That was within 6 weeks, she was getting 10 out of 10 on sight words, and they hadn't done it for over a year. So, focus improved with her, her memory improved, her processing improved, and, without making medical claims, I'm just saying her testimony, her neuromotor control, you guys, improved. Her balance improved. She would play hockey out on our sport cart, and I don't know if you guys play, well, sure you do over in Germany with hockey, and, we would take her out there all the time to shoot the puck, and she would never, ever swing that stick. And within 6 months, it was in the middle of April, we have a video of her totally swinging the stick, right? And hitting that ball and being interactive. So it's really, truly changed her life in so many ways, and I will be forever, ever thankful. The other thing is that she is nonverbal. And I can't believe 3 years later, I immediately feel the emotion when I get to go to talk about this. But she, it's not a cure, but the fact that after, 15 years, she hadn't said mom. And I can't believe 3 years later, I still get emotional. But, a week after she took it, she said mom for the first time. And she says it all the time now. And for that alone, I will never, ever stop it. And I'll never, ever stop sharing about EHT. I share it everywhere, you guys. And because we're on a Zoom here, I'm just going to be totally open in what I've experienced. I have kids that I know with autism that have hugely improved with it, that aren't scared to go to school when there's a substitute teacher because they can now process that information and deal with the change. Kids with ADHD that have gone off of their meds and are so much better with, the parents are just thrilled with their ability to maintain attention and focus. I have nurse friends that have gone on it and have gone off of their antidepressants. I'm not saying that's going to happen for everyone, but what a blessing, and why not try it? Like, I just think this is such a bigger gift than we realize, you guys. For me, my sleep is better, my focus is better, my energy better. And the other thing, you guys, that we often don't talk about that we need to be really cognizant of is our immunity. Our immunity is so much better. Mac was sick nonstop in a special needs class because you can imagine, you're not able to get their hands clean all the time. And they spread germs maybe a little bit easier. She was constantly sick that fall. And literally, she's been sick maybe twice in 3 years since. And I'm the same way. My youngest son, who's 15 now, he started taking it. His marks in school went up from 70s to 90%. My oldest son refuses not to take it because he says, Mom, I just feel like the information is just being absorbed. So you guys have a big, big, big blessing coming your way. And I'm so, so excited for you guys to get this and just see how it's going to change people's lives. You can message me anytime or friend me on Facebook. I'm happy to help out too.
Thank you, Deb. And now that we're all crying, I think we need to take a quick picture before you have to go. And you know, I do have to tell you though, I can understand why you're so emotional about that. I mean, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. And so just that blessing alone is huge. I know. So, okay, I'm gonna take a quick picture before we finish up because I need you to ask, hold on, let's smile. So Deb, can you answer the question that Olga asked about if they stop taking it, what happens or what will happen or occur? Because that's why I stopped, because I knew you're a nurse and I wanted you to address that.
Okay, so basically, you guys, I don't know how much they went over or how much you guys understand really how it works in the brain.
They don't have it. That's the thing. They don't have anything yet. So in October, when Jeff and Max Stock go over there, is when we are told they're going to release it, October 8th. So they don't have any information. That's why we've been doing these little Zooms to kind of give them information before so that they have these stories, because when we got EHT, we didn't have these stories. And so to have these stories before it launches in your country is huge, because it's huge. So and I'm so glad you were able to get on today, because you were one of the biggest people that, the most impactful story I've heard, and how many people you've impacted as well. So if you could just shed light on it, I'd appreciate it.
So basically, you guys, what it is, so you know that it's over 20 to 25 years now we're looking at that Dr. Jeffrey Stock was researching on basically aging of their brain. Doesn't matter if it's an injury to the brain or whether it's aging of the brain, the processes are all very similar. Basic what it's saying is those neurons in our brain aren't connecting. They're not passing the message along to the next neuron, right? And so, he was doing the research, looking for what is out there. And they knew that coffee was something that helped with energy, with focus, with just making people overall feeling better. But they also knew that, there's a lot of things in coffee that aren't so great for us. So they had done research in regards to foods and such, and they found the molecule out of the Arabica coffee plant. So just remember that it is not caffeine just because it's out of a coffee plant. It is not caffeinated at all. It's a molecule out of that plant. And they did research and studies on it, and it was in regards mostly to dementia and Alzheimer's, ADHD, and concussions, right? And that's where they started. So what's happened is in our brain, when those neurons aren't working properly, I'm going to try and set up my phone because I don't have and see if you guys can see me because I need to use my hands. Does that work? There we go. So if you think of those neurons and they're not connecting properly, they're kind of squiggled like this and they're not passing the message along. That's because the PP2A protein on this neuron or on this one isn't stable. And what the tau protein, which is what's in part of EHT, it stabilizes those neurons, stabilizes those proteins on those neurons. Now we have nice, smooth neurons, stable, that are reconnecting and passing those synapses back and forth, if you will. Think about it as people will refer to it as a railroad track, right? The track goes off course as you age or concussions or anything like that. We want to get that track stable and back so that it's connecting, right? So that's what the actual molecule does in the brain. Now, when people start talking about, well, what will happen if I stop taking it? I say to them, why would you ever stop taking it, right? Like, to me, it's like, our mind goes there, but I'm thinking, why would you ever stop taking it? Our brain ages from the time that we're little, we're already aging and losing neurons. So with the Alzheimer's and the dementia and everything else that's coming up that we're already seeing, and it's going to get bigger, you guys, why would you ever stop taking it? And it's just like, okay, so I'm eating healthy. If I stop eating healthy, what's going to happen? Eventually, your body is going to respond because you're not giving it what it needs, right? So EHT, it isn't like, okay, I've stopped taking it and, oh my gosh, my brain isn't totally functioning now anymore. But I do have people that say to me that once they've been off of it for a couple, 3 days, they've forgotten it or they're gone away, that they notice that their focus and their mind isn't as clear as what it was, when they were taking it, right? And they talk about being excited about getting back home to get their EHT. So really, if you can think about it in just simple form, saying, if I stop eating healthy, if I stop exercising, if I stop taking a blood pressure medication, anything like that, you're going to get the effects that you had before. Does that answer it?
Do you, and then Olga and Angela, do you guys have any other questions? Because Deb is very knowledgeable.
Do we have any questions?
Yes, do you have any questions?
No, about the product, no.
Okay. How about you, Angela? Hold on. There you go.
No, everything is clear.
Okay.
Something that we have to try in October.
I think I did the same question last time, but long time ago. Is that supposed to work in teenagers, senior people? I mean, different ages? How is that? Or is it has like a potential age which is supposed to reach? I mean, like the goal is to.
So I think what you're asking is it for everyone, right? No matter what their age is. And from my perspective, and that's my perspective, it is for everyone. I have as young as 3 on it, all the way to 88. However, in saying that, if your box is similar to Canada and your rules are as similar as Canada, and I'm not sure if the ginkgo biloba is in the product in Germany. It's not.
I don't know about the Germany one, but it's not in the US one.
So what I tell people, because our box says not recommended for under 18, right? And you got to be careful that you don't want to be going out there and saying, oh my gosh, because it's not a cure, right? It just makes sense that if it's stabilizing neurons, why wouldn't it work on everything? We have a million neurons in our brains, and we have neuromotor neurons. If it's going to stabilize them and make them healthy, you're going to see all sorts of things. So we don't like to get particular on diagnoses or age. However, what I do is I tell someone when I sit down with them and they say, oh, my child has, these concerns, or my teenager has a lot of anxiety. I just say, you know what, I would love to give you some information on this, or talk to a friend of mine, and then say, you know what, I know it says on the box this, but I just highly encourage you to take it to your pharmacist, not your doctor, your pharmacist, and have them check out what's in it, to see if there's any problem with your son or daughter taking it. And I've not had one pharmacist tell me that there's a problem.
That was great. Yes, that I've never told, you just gave me, I've never told somebody to go take it to their pharmacist, and that's where they should be going. That's huge, because doctors are going to they're going to tell you no. The thing, I think, part of what Olga's saying, and I hear what you're saying, so the different age groups, do you, with your children that are younger, Deb, do you give them half or still the whole?
If they're 3, I look at their weight for one. And if they're, 3, 4, 5, I suggest to them, I always say, take it to your doctor first. But I also say, you know what, they may say to you, you just maybe should start with a half, right? And you can crush it, you can cut it. And my daughter, she does not swallow pills. So we cut it up and put it in her porridge or her yogurt or whatever. I don't like to crush it, to be honest with you, in the juice, because it doesn't taste very good when it's crushed. I don't think Mac started refusing to drink her juice. And that's when I realized that it didn't taste that great. So we just cut it up in chunks. But yeah, I tell them, look at maybe taking a half. Some of them have just made it on their own decision that they start with a half. They're starting to see some changes and they bumped it up to 1.
Okay. And the other part, Olga, is that, yes, I would imagine that within the different ages, our bodies are going to individually absorb and correct and whatnot with what we need. So our bodies, depending on who we are going to take what we need from it. So that's where that's why it's okay for the young to the old, to all ages in between, because our bodies are unique and will absorb what is needed. And when you look at the ingredients, they're all vitamins, and with the exception of the EHT molecule, that's just a molecule from the plants. So they're all natural ingredients. It's not anything that would harm anybody.
Yeah.
And Deb, the EHT has a clean profile, right? So it doesn't interact with any other medicines, correct?
Well, it'll be country specific as to what they'll put on the box.
Okay.
Monique from Canada, it is on our box to watch it for if you're on blood thinners and for high blood pressure and diabetes. However, again, take it to your pharmacist. And the reason the blood thinners has to do with, we have ginkgo biloba in ours in Canada. And so fish oils and things like that, because ginkgo biloba is a natural blood thinning, but it's a very, very low dose. But again, those are cautions, and you just take it to you. I have tons of people. I'm on blood pressure pills, and no problem.
Okay, perfect. And then yes, Patricia put a chat. There's a lot of EHT testimonials on YouTube as well that you can go to. There's also, I think there's a brand partner that has EHTstories.com, and there's a bunch of EHT stories on there as well. You have a question, Angela? Okay, here. Go ahead.
Do we have any competition of these kind of products from another companies?
No.
It's patented.
It's patented out of Princeton University. So there's nothing out there because we have that patented EHT molecule.
Okay.
And that's what does the work.
I was thinking also it's important if we have some German support for these kind of products, because to talk about beauty, we can do it, but to talk about, like now, Deborah, thank you for your support. We will need someone that can explain all these kind of things to the people.
And I believe that'll start coming. Well, when you see on October 8th, when it is launched, they're going to give you videos. They're going to give you information. You're going to hear from Max Stock. They're going to tell you how to go about sharing this in Germany, because we didn't have anything when we started. We just had videos. And like I said, we didn't have testimonials even, because we didn't know what it was going to do. So we just went on blind faith of, look at the research, look at this, check this out. Do your, take, like Deb said, take it to your pharmacist, just do your research on it, because you can go to Signum Biosciences, and I'll put that in the WhatsApp. Signum Biosciences is where it came from. And that's where when I started, I would tell my friends, just go to Signum Biosciences, take a look at all the research, because I want you to see it for yourself, because I didn't know anything about it. Now that we have these testimonials, now we're able to share the testimonials. And if you notice, that's why we always say no medical claims, because we're not making medical claims. We're just sharing what it's done for our friends and our family and people around us. And what is labeled on the box is exactly what it does. And with that and many more things that that have been happening. So you'll have resources to help you. Deb, did you have anything else to add to that?
No, the only thing Monique, as you know, my really good friend and personal sponsor, Janet, is in Holland, right? So she's like me. We love helping people, and we're super passionate about the EHT. So she's a nurse as well. So, just kind of in the background, but like Monique says, they will provide you with a ton of information. But she is over there, and she's living there now, so.
Yeah, and I haven't been able to, I was going to tell you guys that today. So Deb's friend, that's who Vicky's going to be staying with when she goes out there. So she's living in Holland, and she has offered to help our German team as much as we need her to. So we do have somebody close. I don't know how far that is from you guys, but it's closer.
She goes to Germany fairly often.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions for Deb before she has to go? Anybody? No? Thank you, Deb, so much for jumping on today. I really appreciate it.
No problem, hon. Nice meeting everyone.
All right. So
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we'll go ahead and go with Terry, because Terry wants to share. She's got some sharing to do for a contest.
Okay. There we go. So my first question is, you girls in Germany, Do you guys have any samples like eye serum to share, or any extra night cream? Do you have any extra products for sampling
Yes.
at this time? Yes?
Yes.
Olga? Yes? Okay.
I do.
Okay.
I'm going to share it with my neighbor who's sitting right next to me.
Well, I need to say, because I didn't have 3 clients in the last months, I needed to order again. So it's my own product. I mean, it's not that I have extra for sharing, but it's my own product. As you can see in the back office, I couldn't meet the goal for 3 clients each month. So basically I needed to buy again. I'm paying for it full.
It happens. Well, if you even have eye serum, I'm not necessarily saying something that you give to someone to take for 5 nights, but maybe just something that you do when you're in front of them. Like the eye serum is easy because you can do it on their like one eye if you have eye serum, for example. So between now and when Vicky is out, or when you guys see Vicky for your RRP, I want to encourage you guys to sample out to 5 different people, either eye serum or face wash or something that you have that you maybe can take a before and after picture, just to get some activity going again. Just 5 people in between now and your
We lost your sound, Terry.
yeah, hold on.
Got you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, so I had a phone call coming in, sorry. So if you can reach out to 5 people, sample 5 people, either eye serum or whatever product that you have to share, then you'll go in a drawing for Illuma Boost when Vicky is there. She'll draw a name.
If we give 5 different samples, what with the Illumina Boost?
There'll be a prize. There'll be a drawing. There's only a few of you, so it'll be easy to win. It shouldn't be difficult. Vicky will draw a name from a hat, and whoever she draws, who's participated, who's done 5 samples. It could be, you can mix up what kind of product you use. You can use whatever you like, but just 5 different people that you sample to, just so you guys are starting to get into the activity mode.
So, and we need to send you pictures, or what?
That wouldn't hurt.
For the people, I mean, in Germany for free, everything. They don't want to spend much, so it is for free. Sure, I can have 5 people. That is no problem.
Just if you just do it. So if you do a before and after, if you do a before and after picture, like you're sitting with a friend at coffee, and you take their before picture of their eye, and then put the eye serum on their eye, and then take a picture after maybe a few minutes later. If you want to send me those 2 pictures, that will be 1 exposure.
But which one is more accurate? Eye serum, eye patches? Yeah, eye serum and eye patches, yeah?
I would go, I would go with eye serum because it costs you less money and it's your bottle and it would just be a little sample. Here's my suggestion. Because of what you just said, Olga, people don't want to buy it. And that's okay. They may not want to buy it. But what you want to do is it's exposures, and it's getting, like Terry said, it's doing the right activity. So all you want you to do is tell your friends, you know what, I'm in a contest. I have 2 weeks or a week and a half or whatever it is. I have 2 weeks to get as many people to sample my product as possible. I'm not asking you to buy it. I just need to borrow your eye. I need to borrow 1 eye. I want to take a before picture. I want to put the eye serum, and then I want to take a 5-minute picture, and I'm done. And I would believe that for every 5 samples you do, you get your name in the hat. So if you do 10 samples, you get 2 names in the hat. If you do 15, you get 3 names in the hat. So for every 5, you're going to get your name in the hat. All it is activity. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to knock on wood, I'm going to tell you for sure, if you did 20, and if I'm wrong, you can tell me I'm wrong. If you do 20 people in 2 weeks, you will get 3 customers at least, and you won't even expect it because
Okay,
you're not trying to ask them to buy anything.
I'm expecting visit tomorrow. 2 friends are coming with her families, so I can test it. I don't know if they're coming at 4, and probably they will leave 3 hours later. So I can put it at 4 as soon as they come, and then I can take that picture 3 hours after. I don't know.
Yep, perfect. And only do 1 eye, don't do 2 eyes.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
And then just ask them for their help, saying, you know, Angela, same with you, whoever you come in contact with, just keep your eye serum, and I would go with that one because it's easy to sample right up front. Keep it with you and say, you know what, I'm in a contest. We all like to win something. I'm in a contest, can I borrow an eye? I'm in a contest, can I borrow an eye? I need to just do this really fast, a before picture, after picture, and then just get those pictures together and then give them to Terry as they come in so she can put your name in the hat. For every 5, you get 1 entry.
Okay.
And then Angela, if you can explain it to Henriette, we'll send this video to her too that she can watch, but explain it to her too. And then Ivana will know too. But that's a great contest to win $60 product or however it is there, but to win a Luma Boost. So that's fun. It's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Great.
Okay. So Terry, I knew you had to drive. So that's awesome. That's exciting that we're going to do that.
That's pretty much it. I reached out to Vicky about an hour ago, and I'm like, we have to do something for our contest. We talked about it last time, so I just wanted to make sure we did something. So that's just to get these guys excited, shooting for something.
So I'm gonna add something. I'm gonna add something to that. The person that gets the most entries. So if you get 5 and you get 1, the person with the most entries, I'm going to give you a set of eye patches, and I'll give them to Vicky because I'll see her on Saturday. So I'll give her a set of eye patches to give the person who puts the most entries, and that'll be from me.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
I have a question. Or I don't know if Ivana can do that for me. I would like to buy body cream. Can you buy it for me, or can Vicky bring it from the US?
I can do it for you because I'm a US brand partner.
She cut out.
And a lot of the people actually, yeah, I know, but you can't share it with anybody else because it's not in German. So it's not a German product. You can only, for example, share it with somebody who's a U.S. person with a U.S. address, which here I can because there's 50,000 Americans around here. So, for example, you can try it, but you can't share it, unfortunately, because it's not in German.
So she can just buy it from you. She can just buy it from you, right? Okay.
Yes.
So you guys can talk about it, Olga, and then you can buy it from her.
Okay, from Ivana.
Yeah.
Okay. Vicky's not today, but I wanted to tell you that Angela and myself, we are having a party here in my house. So I just want to tell you that, and I will send Vicky my address so she can Google it. And I wanted to ask her where is she staying, because from my place where she's staying, Cologne or Holland, or no?
I don't know. I don't know where she's staying, but for your guys' party, she's staying close to wherever you are.
Otherwise,
I think she sent an email out somewhere about that.
I haven't gotten it yet.
At one
But
point.
she'll be local. And when I say local, like, we're used to driving 2 hours. So if she's staying 2 hours away, it's not a big deal. She'll drive 2 hours.
no. Otherwise, I have I guess the Zimmer. I'm forgetting my English. I guess the room.
You have a room.
So if they need it, I mean, I can.
Okay, I'll tell them. I'll tell them. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, you know what? Real quick before we leave, Sarah just jumped on. Sarah, you there? I want Sarah to share her mommy story. Share your mommy story, Sarah.
I'm going to try and get into the shade so I can see you guys. Sorry.
Okay.
Hi,
Sarah,
guys.
this is Olga and Angela and Ivana from Germany. She has a EHT story about being a mom.
Yeah, so okay, I'll try and make this real quick, and I'm sorry for joining so late, guys. Thanks for having me. So I got pregnant with my son, and my mommy brain was atrocious. I mean, I'm sorry, my pregnancy brain was really bad, and everybody kept saying, "Oh, just pop out the baby. Once you have the baby, everything will be fine." And I'm like, "Woohoo, we're having this baby, right?" So I, do as I was told, and I pop out the baby, and lo and behold, nothing got better. Really, truly, it got worse. And I was to the point where I went back to work after the baby was 7 months old. And I remember sitting down at our dinner table, which we sit at every night, and talking to my husband. We've got the baby and the little bouncer sitting at the table with us. And I said, I don't know that I can do this. And he's like, you don't know that you can do what? And I'm like, I'm really not convinced that I can work. And he looks at me, he's like, yeah, you've got to work. And I'm like, no. I mean, I know that I need to, but the issue is I really don't know if I can. And so the best way I described it was I could see words. I knew they were words. Logically, I knew they were words in my head. I couldn't figure out what they said or how to pull them down to be able to actually get them out of my mouth in any sort of way that made sense. And I'm used to presenting. I do training. I am a manager, so I'm sitting in meetings and talking with people where they expect me to make decisions, expect me to be able to do what I'm supposed to do at my job. And I'm sitting there going, I'm sitting there in meetings and people are looking at me and I'm like, I got nothing for you. Nothing. I can't. And I literally was feeling like I couldn't do it. And so I ended up starting on EHT thinking, well, who knows, maybe it'll help a little. And it wasn't truly until I had stopped taking it for about a week because I ran out that I realized. My husband actually told me, he goes, you're doing that thing again. And I said, what's that thing? And he goes, you're stopping in the middle of your sentences. He goes, you stop doing that. So I would literally in the middle of my sentence just go completely silent. And he'd be like, you were talking about blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, no, I know what I was talking about. I don't have any idea where I was going, not one clue. And so I started taking the EHT again. I realized I could present, I could train, I could actually formulate my sentences and my thoughts. It has been absolutely wonderful for me. It's given me back my confidence, which is the biggest thing for me. So that's my EHT story. I love it. I talk with people about it all the time, and I share it with everyone because I truly think that it is an amazing supplement to help us gain our confidence, feel like we're at our best, and really be able to function optimally.
Awesome. So, thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you stepping out and doing that and jumping on. And I'm glad we were still on.
Well, and I was going to say, I apologize. I have to run again, but I wanted to be able to get on real quickly for you
no
guys.
Problem.
So,
thank you, Sarah. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Have a great day.
You too. Thanks. So Sarah's out of Sacramento, and when she shared that with me one day about her mommy brain, you have a lot of friends that have kids, and I was like, yes, I want you to share that because a lot of people get mommy brain because they get so busy and they just can't manage everything. So that's something good. So anyways, Olga, can you send me, do you want me to make a flyer for your party? If you do, send me your address and your phone number, and I'll put that flyer together like I've done in the past.
Yeah, but we are making the party together with Angela. Angela will invite her friends.
Yeah.
So if you can do, can put the picture of both of us, so her friends and my friends.
Yeah, what I'll probably do is just put the Nerium, like the picture of the products, or maybe like girls, like I've done in the past, kind of generic picture, and then just put the address and the date and the time. And then it can say RSVP to Angela or Olga, and then your phone numbers. Or yes, does that work?
Yeah. Angela?
Yeah, Monique did one for me for my moon results party, and it was really, really good with like a wine and cheese, anything but any kind of theme. She did it for me. It was wonderful.
Yeah, instead of products, Monique.
Yeah.
Something more.
Wine and cheese.
Yes.
Let me show you something. So this is similar to what I can do. Let's see if you can see it. See, it has the wine, the cheese, and the products on the bottom.
Sip and sample.
Wine and cheese, sip and sample.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that, and then I'll just add your information into that. So just send me your address and then send me your phone numbers.
Okay.
Okay.
I will. Yeah.
Okie dokie. All right, ladies. We went long, but I'm glad we did. Let me stop the recording.